Hey everybody, welcome to Takeoff with John Clark, presented by Live Casino Hotel Philadelphia. And this is a wild week in Philly. You've got Eagles, Cowboys, Sunday Night Football. You've got the Sixers season starting, you've got the Flyers season opener, and the Phillies in the playoffs for the first time in 11 years. Let's go to the man. Only two people have led the Phillies, managed the Phillies to a World Series championship, Dallas Green and the legendary Charlie Manuel. Charlie, we so appreciate you joining us on this big week.
I'm excited about it, John. Hey, I'm ready to talk about it.
Red October back in Philly, Game 3 at Citizens Bank Park. Give us an idea, when you're in the dugout, when you were managing the Phillies, the atmosphere for playoff games at Citizens Bank Park.
Well, first of all, like once we when the crowd gets in Citizens Bank Park and energy starts to flowing, it definitely picks the players up, and I think it definitely gives them a lot of life and energy, and it produces your adrenaline, and at times you got to definitely be able to control that adrenaline, and it's an exciting time. It's exciting for our fans. It's exciting for everybody around our organization, our town, our city, and everything.
Yeah, it has been too long. So can you give me a few moments where you literally could see the goosebumps, like the hairs popping up on your arms for moments at Citizens Bank Park?
Oh yeah, I mean it's there. I mean, really. I mean, you get butterflies, and you get what I call kind of a hot streak. Like you feel like. Everything is going on, and actually you got to slow down some, really, make sure you stay focused on what you're doing.
How about the Phillies coming back 1-1, obviously after winning game 1 the way they did, and then having Zack Wheeler on the mound in game 2, everybody was hoping, hey, they might be able to come back up 2 games to none. But how you feeling about this series from the Phillies perspective now, 1-1?
I think I like where, whether you like it or not, I mean, I like it. And the reason is because, we went on the road, we won 3 straight games and we lost 1. And we come back, and that's playing pretty good baseball considering who we were playing. All right, now that we come back to our ballpark for 2 games, and this is a 3 out of 5, I feel real good about it. And I feel like Nola's going to come out and pitch us a beautiful game. Wheeler did a tremendous job last night. He just ran into some problems in the 6th when he hit Acuna, and that started that right there is, to me, John, and you hear me say it all the time about luck, and that's kind of started a little luck streak for him. And they all of a sudden he hits a guy, and then they get Olsen hits the ball hard at first base, and Reese cannot make the play, and then they get a couple dunk singles, and here we go, and we got behind 3-0. And the only thing I saw that I kind of like when Atlanta went to the bullpen, I thought we were down 3 runs. I thought we got a little bit too aggressive, and you could tell that we wanted to make the 3 runs up real quick, and our hitters can calm down and take it easy and make them throw the ball over the plate and get good balls to hit. We got to get some guys on before we can score 3 runs. And and one hitter is not going to make up that 3 runs in one swing. So therefore, I thought we got a little excited, and we were trying too hard. But at the same time, too, 3-1 on the road, and also knocking St. Louis out and playing Atlanta in Atlanta, and then we go home for 2 games. That's pretty good. We got it pretty good, I think.
You said Aaron Nola on the mound in game 3. It's going to be his first postseason game at Citizens Bank Park. And sometimes you can't tell whether Aaron has won a game or lost a game. He is even keel. What did Aaron show you in the postseason clinching game and then his playoff start? What did he show you?
He showed me, he had a good tempo, good rhythm. He kept, he could work the game up, he could work it down, and also, his stuff, his breaking ball had had more depth to it. People might say spin, but I call it depth. It had more, it was sharper and better command, and also he knew when to walk it off the plate when he got ahead in the count and things like that. And then his fastball, set in good, used his changeup, had all this stuff going, and he kept the tempo of the game really good, and the best I've seen him pitch really in a while.
How about the moment? Because there had been a couple Septembers where he wasn't at his best. He's pitched more innings or more games than any pitcher in baseball over the last 5 years. What did he show you about the moment and coming up big?
He showed me that he definitely can handle it. Just like you said, he's even keel. You can't tell if he give up a home run or he struck a guy out. I mean, that's kind of who he is. And actually, he stays focused on what he's doing. And when he gets hit, most of the time, when he gets in trouble, gives up some runs, that's when he starts making mistakes, like in a big part of the plate, and that's when the hitters start to hurt him. But when he's pitching his game, he's got command on both sides of the plate, and he's using all of his pitches. And I look for that same kind of game tomorrow, really.
Well, I'll tell you what, Charlie knows best. We could say that about hitting in baseball. We're going to talk about the T-shirts you have out for a great cause in a couple minutes. I want to ask you also about the hitting, because it's amazing. 3-1 in the playoffs so far. The Phillies only have one home run. How impressed were you in the first game in Atlanta playing a little small ball? Some bunting, moving guys over and sack flies. How impressive was that? And can they bring that home to Citizens Bank Park, or do you expect them to be hitting more long balls at Citizens Bank Park?
I think you definitely. I think they definitely can bring it home. I think that's helped in St. Louis. I think when you think about it, that one hit that Segura got over in that first game, like it trickled through. I mean, hey, look, that right there was just as big as that one that single home run you hit makes one run. We've been doing it by playing small ball. And also aggressive at times on the bases and things like that. We can do that. I think I think that we definitely can show that we can work counts and make contact, but at the same time too, in our ballpark, we are dangerous with our power. And I look for us to really play good, and also I look for a power to somewhere in this series to show up, and hopefully to show up tomorrow.
Yeah, right now, Kyle Schwarber and Rhys Hoskins atop the lineup are 1 for 34, and Kyle Schwarber, 8 strikeouts, I believe, in 16 at bats. If you're the manager of the Phillies right now, do you leave him in there, or do you maybe, move up JT Realmuto or Alec Bohm or Gene Segura in either of those spots?
Hey, John, he's been there all year long. I'm not changing now. Hey, look, I'm going with him. He's my man, and so is Rhys Hoskins. Hey, they can definitely come out and have a good game. Pat Burrell proved that to me in 2008, like in a few games. And I'm totally committed to going with the players that got me there, and I want to put my best team on the field.
And I think that's what manager Rob Thomson says he's doing.
I think that's exactly what he's going to do, and I think he's did a great job. Also, I just like to make a statement about Robbie. I'm glad that they gave him a contract. I thought that was a great thing to do. I think Dave Dabowski sent a great message, not only to Robbie, but to the team and also the fans in Philadelphia. And I think that was a big move for us. And also, I think that can play a adrenaline role in their success in this playoff.
What do you think of Alec Bohm and how he's progressed and improved, especially defensively, not just at the plate, but defensively?
I think that's absolutely amazing. I think somebody ought to go down there and give Bobby Dickerson a gold hat because I think he's worked hard at. But then there again, Alec Bohm did all the work as far as the practice go, and he's definitely his defensive has come around, and he's proven that he can even get better. And hey, John, I'll go on the record as saying is, the more balls that Alex Bohm starts hitting from the middle end with his strength and stays to the right side of the diamond when he has to, he's going to become a real good big league hitter.
I got to tell you, I love talking hitting with you. I remember being at the golf event up there in Yardley, and I'm telling you, once somebody asks you something about hitting, you're going to be there for 20 minutes. I mean, I remember being down at spring training. I would watch you in the clubhouse, and you and Jim Tomei would stand there, I would say probably for 20 minutes, 30 minutes, whatever, with bats in your hands. And I'm like, what are they talking about for 20, 30 minutes every day? I mean, how much do you love hitting?
I still like it just as much as always. I love. I love to talk to everybody about hitting. Matter of fact, I got a grandson, 5 years old, and he doesn't know if he's left-handed or right-handed. And so after sometime at the end of the month, I'm gonna bring him up here with me for the weekend, and I'm gonna find out what he is, if he's left-handed or right-handed. But he might be a switch hitter. But at the same time, I love hitting. I love everything about it. I love to talk to everyone about it. And and basically a lot of it, what people don't really understand is when two guys know one another and you get excited about what you're talking about, that right there can really help bring a lot of confidence to the guy, and also get him to slow down and relax and really concentrate on what he's doing. And you're like, instead of worried about making outs, we're going to worry about it. We're going to just stay positive about hitting the ball good, things like that. It's all about, it's all about getting together, and it's all about staying focused on what you're doing.
Yeah, we were doing a show at the Live Hotel Casino Philadelphia here, and Larry Bow was there, Ricky Bow was there, Ben Davis was there, and Larry Bow and them were talking about the hands of Kyle Schwarber and how quick they are. Tell us, I mean, all the guys you've seen over the years, how impressive is it what he does?
I seen Schwarber play in college, and he had a short, quick swing just like he has right now. I'll tell you something. He has and he's a very strong guy, but he's got a short, quick bat. And at times, I think he gets in trouble. He lets the ball travel deep on him. People's always saying, let the ball travel. I like him when he hits out front. I like, I like to see him, when he's really getting good balls to hit and he puts good swings on the ball. But at the same time, I think that he hit 265 or 270 last year. I think that he can get back there, at least there, maybe even higher, like in his average. And if he does, I think he can add on to that 46 that he hit this year.
Woo! And Phillies fans are hoping it happens here at home. How about Nick Castellanos? Obviously, he said maybe there was an adjustment period of him joining the Phillies. Big contract. It took him a while. But he said something interesting after he had his 3-hit game and 3 RBI game. By the way, I'm going to ask you, the last Philly in the playoffs with a 3-hit, 3 RBI game, you were managing him. Do you know who it is?
Last hitter had a 3. No, I don't.
I'm sorry. In the playoffs, 3 hits and 3 RBIs.
Right.
I know I'm putting you on the spot because you had so many good hitters, but
I don't know. I can't remember.
It was
and usually I do remember.
You usually remember Jason Worth in 2009.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
You know what? I can tell you 2 of those went to right center. I can tell you that. Really, when I think about it. Really? Okay, I got you. Yeah, but I didn't. I forgot about it. But it I can kind of picture in my mind when you said that. Yeah.
Well, you had so many good hitters, so it could have been a number of them in the lineup. Now about Castellanos, he said something interesting after he had his big game in Atlanta. He said that in the playoffs, the intensity, everything's more intense, and that's kind of to his liking. It's interesting that he said that because maybe he needs those moments. And what do you see from his swing at this point?
Right. I think that you're looking at a guy actually that when he goes up there, he has a lot of confidence in himself. And I think if I could tell him one thing, I'd tell him to make sure that he kind of stays behind the baseball. Like that he don't stride out real quick and kind of float and push the ball more to kind of the right field. I like to see him hit more balls actually from left center over to right center and things like that. And his power would come into play more. But at the same time, too, he does make contact with the ball in big moments. If you notice, he'll strike out at sometimes because he chases balls down in the dirt or something. But when he's up there really concentrating on getting good balls to hit, that's when he becomes a better hitter.
And, of course, he had the shirt, or they made the shirt for him because in his first press conference he said, I don't have a college degree. I hit baseballs. But, maybe he should now say, I don't have a college degree. I catch baseballs because that was a heck of a catch.
Right.
Kind of helped seal Yeah.
He made a big time game catch. He made a tremendous catch. And really, like, sometimes when you start to think about someone and you'll be concerned about them on defense, and when they make catches like that, that definitely can improve them, because that right there gives them more confidence in playing defense.
Yeah. Now, when the Phillies come back home against the Braves, I keep thinking, like, okay, the Braves were the best team in baseball since the beginning of June. They won the division. The Phillies were 14 games back. Do you think the Braves are clearly a better team than the Phillies? Do you think they're close to even? What do you think?
I think it's real close. I think it's close to even. Check out the offensive stats, all the stats. You like from doubles, home runs, triples, hits, runs scored, all that. It's very. I think Atlanta leads in some of them, but it's very, very close. I think that they're a very close team. I think the big part about it still it gets around to the starting pitching, and I think we got their lefty the other night in Freed, but now last night, Wright pitched a beautiful game, he used all of his pitches, and he just threw a wonderful game. And I didn't think we had enough patience at their bullpen, because I think if we'd have made them work instead of being aggressive and start, chasing first pitch, high fastballs, things like that, I think we could have got to them. But at the same time, too, we are very, very close. Our bullpen and our pitching staffs are close. And also, if you just get the hitting part of it, they got some athletes in on defense, especially in the outfield and things like that. They got some guys that can really run the ball down. But outside that, we are a very, very close team, and we definitely can beat them.
It's interesting you said that, because I looked and I saw that the batting average and the on-base percentage from the regular season were exactly the same, Phillies and Braves. 253 and 317. That's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
The pitching, it's interesting, because the Braves are not announcing their starter for Game 3 yet.
Right.
Could be Charlie Morton. How about the X factor of Strider and how good he has looked this year against the Phillies? I mean, he dominated the Phillies.
Yeah, well, that might be I was thinking about Morton myself. And actually, Strider, really, I do think it's up in the air, because they haven't named it yet. But at the same time, too, I think we're going to be ready for either one of those guys. I think, first of all, we got to make Strider, if he pitches, throw the ball, try to make sure that he gets the ball in the middle of the plate and actually not chase balls out of the strike zone. And we do that, I think we'll have some success on him, because we like the fastball if somebody keeps it belt down from us, something, we can get to it. But at the same time, we can't go swinging at bad balls.
Yeah. Now, how would you set it up if you're the Phillies? You got Aaron Nola in Game 3, Game 4, Game 5, possibly Ranger Suarez, or could Zack Wheeler possibly come back if there's a Game 5?
Right. Something. I think after Nola pitches, I think that will be a big decision that we make in the playoffs. And I'm kind of waiting to see, like what we say about who's going to start and things like that. Because I do think that you can come back with Junior Suarez if you want to, because I think that he's very capable of giving you 5 innings for sure. And I would be kind of thinking that way, but at the same time, I'm sure Robbie's going to figure it out.
How about Shane Victorino's coming back into town to throw out that ceremonial first pitch? What kind of pitch are we going to see from him?
If he's talking, he'll throw a wild pitch. If he's going to slow down, he might throw a firm ball to the catcher. But now if he's out there chapping, he would definitely lose the strike zone that way.
Well, I remember doing a couple stories with Shane about ADHD. We both have it. And I don't know how he stood out in center field for those long innings with ADHD.
Me neither, because he used to come in the dugout a lot and tell us what's going on up in the stands, like the vendors or who's selling popcorn and who's selling the most beer and all this. Hey, he was into everything. Hey, I used to call him Junebug, really, because he flies everywhere.
That's a good point. I'm telling you, though, that's what ADD does. You hear everything around you but what you're supposed to be concentrating on. Are there any players on this Phillies team right now where the guys that you had, you say, man, this guy reminds me of so-and-so that I had?
Yeah, well, we got a team. I think Robbie Thomson did a great job so far of taking our young players and not really completely turning them loose. And I think the way he's working on men, he's definitely helped develop them. And also they've been at given times in our lineup, if you notice, the bottom of our lineup at times they've hit some hot streaks and they've carried us for 2 or 3 days. And I think he's done a great job of our young guys. I think of Stroud. I think Stroud's going to be a good player. I think he's got a little demeanor about him like a Utley. He don't say much as far as his performance, but he just comes to the ballpark every day and wants to play. And I think he's going to be a good hitter. I think this year has been really great for him. I think Bohm's going to get better. I think Verlin can definitely get better. I think our center fielder that we got, Marsh, I think he has a chance to be a good hitter. I think he's going to come into his own. I think for the next 4 or 5 years, I think the Phillies are going to be definitely a big contender in the East. I feel that way.
It would be great to see Citizens Bank Park hopping again like it was when you were managing the Phillies. How about some of the pitchers like Zack Wheeler? Does he remind you of anybody that you had?
You know what, Zack Wheeler, as far as how he stands on the mountain and throws the baseball and stuff like that, he's got some holiday in him. Yeah. He's not Zack Wheeler definitely is strong. He's strong-minded. He likes to pitch and he knows he can pitch. He's not he definitely is not scared or nothing like that. I like everything about his makeup. He's very good. As far as he would be closer to Holiday than anybody that I can think of, really.
Yeah. It's interesting because Bryce Harper, he's starting to really hit the ball now. He's making good contact, went to the warning track last night. He talked about it being a grind when he came back from his thumb surgery. Did you notice anything with his swing, his grip or anything? Because that's got to be tough with that thumb.
Yeah. I noticed here lately, I've noticed in the last few games that he's not gripping a bat as tight as that he was before. And when he grips a bat real tight, if you notice, he gets real stiff up in his chest area and his tension. And, and actually it's hard for him he muscles the ball, I call it. And he'll hit balls to left field. That's why the left fielder plays him more toward the line at times. Because he pushes the ball that way. But when he's really good, he's using his hands. Right now, he's back using his hands as balance and rhythm. And that's when he becomes a real good hitter. Last year, when he got started second half of the season, really starting to hit the ball, if you remember, he started using the whole field. And that was because he had a good stroke. And his stroke, all of a sudden, especially when he hit a fastball out front, he's got power. And right now, his timing is getting better every day. And I look for him to make some statements here in the next couple of days up in Philly.
Well, it's going to be wild. By the way, when Rob Thomson was doing the celebrations with the team, I noticed the first time he left the cork in there. You didn't ever leave the cork in there when you were about to drink that champagne, did you?
If I would have been a cork in there, I would have ate the glass.
Oh man, talking with you, it's bringing back the great times in Philadelphia. How much did it mean to you, that era of Phillies baseball, which is basically the best era ever? Packing Citizens Bank Park, and I mean, you probably feel like you could have won another World Series or should have, right?
I look at that sometime and I think about it. I always thought, if you want to know the truth, I felt like we should have won a couple more World Series. And I was very disappointed because we couldn't beat the Yankees, because that would have been the ultimate goal. I think of that, I think that I would have walked around with my head up, and I'd probably be a little more energetic and everything if we could have got the Yankees. And then the home run that Uribe hit against us, like that one that put us out that one year, that lingers in my mind. Carpenter's game pitching against us, against Holiday, that was just a beautiful game. And for some reason, we just couldn't score that day. And I look back, and we had teams that definitely could be there. I'm sure Bobby Cox could probably say the same thing, because he went there 14 times, and a lot of times he didn't get out of the first round. But at the same time, too, it's hard to explain that winning is hard, and that's why it's so good when you win, if you stop and think about it. And it's hard, but at the same time, too, it's up to you to go get it. And we got there, but there were some things that we could have done better. Yes.
You still think about those things?
Yes, I think about them. Yes, of course.
Well, I hope you walk around with your head up high because, I mean,
I
2008
walk
World
around.
Series.
Hey, John, I walk around in Philadelphia all the time with a smile on my face and wanting to talk to people. Really, seriously, I mean that. You know what? I think that I've became a lot closer since I've come off the field. I became a lot closer with fans or just people in general. Really, and I'm also interested in like getting to know people and talking to people, and like letting them tell me what they do and or what they like to do. I like spending time with them.
Well, Philly loves you, and I got to tell you, these T-shirts, they're a hot item right now. Charlie knows best, and it's such a great thing you're doing with these T-shirts. Tell us about it.
Yeah, the T-shirts. I always thought about all the hospital bills I've had and operations and my insurance paid for all of them. And I want, and also the success and the fun I've had in baseball. I wanted to always give something back. And I think when I started talking about these T-shirts with Mark Adams, I think that's a way for me to help people out. Like I don't want people to lose their house or be in a hole, because that their insurance doesn't pay for all their medical bills and things like that. And I thought if I'm going to do something, that's the first thing we'll start at, and try to help some people, out. And actually, it's been doing pretty good, and I feel good about it. But I want it to be big. I want it to help anybody I possibly can.
That's great. Can you tell us where we can get a Charlie Knows Best T-shirt?
Yeah, you can get it on hogislandpress.com.
That's great. And you went through a really tough experience, and you had a lot of bills, and so you basically went through what a lot of people go through, and you know how tough it is.
Now, actually, my insurance. I had great insurance. I had big league insurance, things like that, and that's why I understand if I had to pay those bills, I would have been in trouble. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
So actually, like when I hear people say that or hear someone say that they can't pay for their house or they can't pay their bills because of their medical bills are so high that it's hard to pay them. And I definitely, I feel like I can help them out some. I feel like the proceeds that I get go straight to that. And I don't want nothing about the money or nothing like that. I want to help people.
Well, seriously, this is a fantastic thing you're doing. Charlie Knows Best. I've seen a couple around town already, so glad you gave us the information. So anybody listening to this, it's a great cause, and your heart is always in the right place. And you are a man of Philly, and I'm glad. I'm glad you love coming back up here. It's a great thing.
Yeah. Hey, John, I love the Phillies, man.
All right. So in your heart, you probably have them moving on. What do you, in your mind, what are you thinking?
I got something. I think I like taking it day at a time. I don't want to get ahead. I don't want nobody on the field or nothing like that. We focused on tomorrow, and I don't want to get ahead. We just take it a day at a time, and you look up and you'll find that if you give everything you got, I definitely think we got enough. Really, I think we can do it. Why not us? Really.
All right. And then who's winning Eagles Cowboys Sunday night?
Eagles. I think, the Eagles are impressive for me. I like their speed. I like the way they hit. I like their quarterback. He's improved for me. I watch him, and I watched him all through college and things like that. He's really improved. He's improved as far as picking up secondary receivers and things like that. And he's doing good. But their defense is impressive.
Yeah, you're right. And I'll tell you, the way Jalen Hurts has improved, finally having the same coach back-to-back years, it shows. He's the first one in, last to leave, as they say. The hard work does pay off. So,
right. Yeah. Right, I even like his little pep talks after the game's over.
Hey, there's a lot of bleeps in those, aren't there?
Yeah, like when he jumps up and down, gives you a short stutter step and things like that. He shows you a little cockiness.
Yep. Hey, by the way, I think Jose Alvarado I remember, when the Phillies won the World Series, you said, Philadelphia, this is for you. And Jose Alvarado came back with that. Did you like that?
Yeah, that's good. That's good. But no, the Eagles are tough. But right now I'm thinking Philly. I'm thinking Fields.
Philly versus everybody. This reminds me of when you were managing the team, when you would have Eagles beat the Falcons at the Link during the day, and then at night you got a World Series game. I mean, how special.
Right. That's good. That sounds good. Everything's good right now in Philly. It's going good. Hey, let's keep it that way.
Let's keep it that way. And Charlie knows best. Yeah. It could be a sitcom. It could be a podcast. It's a T-shirt. Appreciate you joining us, Charlie Manuel.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Love talking with you.
Yeah, got you. I love talking to you.
You coming back up sometime?
Yeah.
Dig it. The macho man. Charlie Manuel. Toast to the coast. Best of the West. Beast of the East.
I hear you.
We love that wrestling.
Yeah. But what about Ric Flair? Can you do him?
Woo! You're going to walk the aisle. 60 minutes. Woo! Space Mountain.
I hear you. That's good.
What about Hulk Hogan?
Huh?
What you gonna do, Charlie Manuel, when the 24-inch pythons run wild on you, brother?
What about the Huckster stuff, man?
Oh, mom, so flagrant.